In today's news, Pakistan marked National Minorities Day with strong commitments from top leaders to protect the rights of the country's religious minorities. President Asif Ali Zardari and Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif praised the contributions of minority communities, emphasizing their integral role in the nation's progress. The armed forces also recognized the importance of minorities and reaffirmed their dedication to safeguarding their rights. PPP Chairman Bilawal Bhutto Zardari called for an inclusive environment where every individual, regardless of religion, can thrive. In sports, javelin superstar Arshad Nadeem received a hero's welcome in his hometown of 𝐒𝐿𝐴 after making history at the Olympics. Nadeem, who broke the Olympic record with a 92.97-meter throw, secured Pakistan's first gold medal in 40 years. The celebrations began earlier in the day at Lahore's Allama Iqbal International Airport, where Nadeem and his coach Salman Butt were greeted by hundreds of supporters. Video footage captured the jubilant scenes as Nadeem waved to fans from a truck draped in garlands, with large Pakistani flags visible among the crowd. The festivities in 𝐒𝐴 have been ongoing since Thursday night, with the event broadcast live on a large screen. As the nation celebrates, the National Disaster Management Authority has issued urgent warnings for heavy rainfall and potential glacial lake outburst floods in the coming days. The NDMA highlighted that Gilgit-Baltistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa are particularly at risk, with areas like Dir, Swat, Kohistan, Gilgit, and Skardu identified as vulnerable. The public is advised to avoid travel to these regions. Additionally, moderate to heavy thunderstorms are expected in Azad Kashmir, Punjab, and parts of Balochistan, covering a wide range of districts including Islamabad, Rawalpindi, Lahore, Faisalabad, Multan, and Karachi. Residents in these areas are urged to stay vigilant and follow safety guidelines due to the increased risk of flash floods, landslides, and other weather-related hazards. Tensions between the Trump campaign and Iran have escalated with allegations of cyber interference in the 2024 US election. Trump's campaign accused Iran of hacking and stealing sensitive internal documents, pointing to a recent Microsoft report that highlighted Iranian activities as part of broader foreign election interference efforts. Although the Trump campaign has referenced past tensions with Iran, it has not provided direct evidence to support its claims. The National Security Council quickly condemned any foreign meddling, while Iran denied the allegations, insisting its cyber capabilities are strictly defensive. The strained relationship between Trump and Iran traces back to the 2020 killing of Iranian commander Qasem Soleimani and the US withdrawal from the Iran nuclear deal. Meanwhile, the latest New York Times Siena College poll shows Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris leading Donald Trump in crucial battleground states. Harris holds a 50% support rate in Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, with Trump trailing at 46% in each state. Harris's campaign has gained momentum, especially among young voters, people of color, and Democratic donors. Her recent selection of Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her vice presidential running mate has further energized her campaign. However, Harris is facing criticism over the Biden administration's stance on the Gaza conflict, particularly after being confronted by protesters at a rally in Detroit. She later adjusted her message in Arizona, emphasizing her commitment to negotiating a ceasefire. Trump, despite attacking Harris and her running mate for being weak and criticizing her competence, has expressed some regret about not facing Biden in the upcoming election. In today's news, the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees reports that over 75,000 Palestinians in southern Gaza have been forced to leave their homes. This displacement comes just days after many had been allowed to return. The situation remains dire as Israeli forces have issued new evacuation orders in Khan Yunis, marking their third military operation there since early October. Palestinians across the Gaza Strip report that there are no safe places left amid the ongoing conflict. In Gaza City, the aftermath of an Israeli attack on a school turned shelter has been devastating. Medics and survivors are working to collect body parts and search for the missing following the bombing that killed more than 100 people. The international community has condemned the attack, which is part of a broader conflict that has resulted in at least 39,790 deaths and 92,002 injuries across Gaza. Germany has joined the international calls for a humanitarian truce, criticizing Israel's killing of civilians sheltering in Gaza City and urging a deal on captives. In response to the worsening crisis, UNRWA chief Philip Lazzarini has highlighted the urgent need for humanitarian aid and a ceasefire. Amid these developments, Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas is set to visit Moscow next week to discuss the ongoing war in Gaza with Russian President Vladimir Putin. In a related international reaction, Beijing has condemned the assassination of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran, calling it a violation of Iran's sovereignty and a threat to regional stability. President Volodymyr Zelensky has confirmed that Ukrainian forces are actively fighting in Russia's Kursk region. He stated that the ongoing incursion demonstrates Ukraine's ability to restore justice and apply necessary pressure on the aggressor. In response, Russia has enacted a sweeping security regime in three of its border regions as the battles continue into their sixth day. The situation is further complicated by Belarus, a close ally of Moscow, which has mobilized additional troops to its border with Ukraine. Belarus has accused Kyiv of violating its airspace, adding another layer of tension to the regional conflict. Meanwhile, the violence is taking a heavy toll on civilians within Ukraine. A recent Russian drone and missile barrage targeted the Kyiv suburb of Brovary, resulting in the deaths of two. Fragments from the attack fell on residential areas, according to Ukraine's state emergency service.